Hey guys, welcome back to another Scoundrelous book review, and today we'll be reviewing The Glastonbury Tourist. I really like this book, guys. I don't think I've smiled so much reading a book in a good long while, so this is a spoiler-free review, but I'll give you a basic rundown of the plot. So the protagonist wants to get away from his life in the city, so he goes on holiday to the town of Glastonbury, which is known as the most spiritual town in England. Home to witches, wizards, druids, pagans, hippies, gurus of all different varieties from all different walks of life, many of which live there, many of which come from all around just to be there to celebrate holidays such as the solstices, Samhain, or Beltane. And the protagonist is a little angry, sulky, materialistic, and so he's not the most on board with the culture of the town. But to his credit, and for the benefit of the story, he's open-minded enough. Some of the themes of this book include the value of community, meeting people where they're at, valuing wherever you're at in life, the value of art, nature, getting outside, and not just getting outside, but actually having reverence for nature, and it definitely gets into why that's important. Also, not to sound like that guy, but there's some serious game in this book. Not in the way of pickup artists or anything like that. No, in fact, this book flies in the face of that. It's a tertiary message, but I do appreciate how he goes into how men and women can in fact be friends. How not everyone you're attracted to should necessarily be pursued, that kind of thing, so I did really appreciate that part of this book. And this book isn't preachy, it's very nuanced, the characters are very believable, even characters who live in the town, who have been around this stuff for many years, are very flawed, and a lot of them, the book implies that even they don't get it. And I think just about every character, aside from a few exceptions, grows throughout the course of this novel, or develops in some way. Also, I'm a big fan of Jacob Dodson's channel. You can tell that he did a lot of research. He really walks the walk. He knows what he's about. He's serious about his practice. And you can see how his channel has developed over the last 3 years, and all of that knowledge that he's accumulated, the changes to his own practice and lifestyle, his philosophy, all of that is on full display here, but he's not preachy about it. I learned a lot about ancient traditions in this book, a lot more than I was expecting. There's a lot that he spells out. You can definitely learn a lot from this book, but also he leaves some breadcrumbs. He doesn't give you the answers to absolutely everything. Like, runes appear many times throughout the story, and he'll tell you what some of the runes mean, what some inscriptions mean, but there are multiple instances where he gives an inscription, and if you look into it, it helps round out your understanding of the story, but it's not essential, and so he really encourages you to just go and look things up yourself and learn these things if you're interested enough. But they're by no means essential, or there's no homework required to enjoy this book. I believe this is the author's first full-length adult novel, and I have to say, this book feels very alive. The characters, they feel very realistic and grounded. Hey there, how's it going? Pretty good. Thank you very much. You as well. Gift for you, wherever you are. Yeah, you have a good day. You can tell he's been around the block a bit. He definitely has some natural talent with writing, I think. The prose is simple, it's very easy to read and follow. I don't think anyone's going to have trouble reading this. Content-wise, there are quite a few F-bombs in the first 80% of the book. I know some people care about that kind of thing, so if that's a factor for you, there you go. Drugs certainly have a presence in the story, but it's a very nuanced take. So really, I'd say this book is for anyone 16 and up. Or a very mature 13-year-old. Getting into some of my gripes, some of the accents, the dialogue is very natural throughout. He does a really good job making the characters sound realistic, but I felt like he could have been a little bit more consistent with how the accents were spelled out. Plus, sometimes I was reading it and I was like, that's not how the Scots say that. But it wasn't a big deal. Most people from the US aren't even going to catch it. I mean, it's not like anyone can understand what a Scotsman says anyway, so. Now for my only real gripe about the book. I don't think he ran by an editor. I think I caught 10 to 15 typos, and honestly I don't think the average reader is going to catch most of them, but as someone who's very analytical and meticulous while he's reading, they did stand out to me. And there were several paragraphs or sentences that I feel like could have been structured a little bit differently just to flow better. There are several times where I was thinking, I know exactly what you're trying to go for. I know if you just switch this around or put this here, or you put that dialogue tag a little bit earlier, it would have flowed better. Honestly, I don't know if he hired an editor or not. Don't think the editor did that good of a job if he did hire one. If he did indeed not hire an editor, honestly, pretty impressive because the book is quite readable, as I said before. 400 pages, and I enjoyed it all the way through. However, once you get past the title page, There's the legal page, which says copyright, etc., etc. I don't really know what it's called. But anyways, right there, it clearly says first edition. Now, that might be there for legal reasons, I don't know. But first edition implies that a second edition is on the table. So please, Mr. Todson, for the love of God, please hire an editor. Hell, I will edit it for free. I don't require payment, promotion, anything like that. I just really believe in the messages of the story. I really enjoyed it, and this book deserves the polish. So if you're interested, comment down below, message me on Instagram or something. But the rest of you, in order to summarize, if you're a pagan or into spirituality, or you're interested in old ways and ancient traditions and how they're carried forward into today, or if you just really like weird, surreal books, I would highly recommend picking this up, giving it a read, and I don't think you'll be disappointed. So, that's all I've got for today. Please be sure to smash that dislike button, and leave your cruelest comment down below. Farewell.